We want to take a closer look now at a local collaboration addressing teacher shortages. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics show there are nearly 160,000 teacher assistant positions that need to be filled every year. Green Bay Area Public Schools has now partnered with NWTC to address this shortage, creating a Paraeducator program. Now, people who work just a couple days a week helping out in schools can now be hired as full-time teaching assistants with better pay and benefits if they complete this program. The initial class of 14 paraeducators graduates just finished up at the end of March. And to learn more about this collaboration, we're joined by Amy Fish of Green Bay Area Public Schools. She is the Associate Director of Community Partnerships and Grants, and Tracy Blahnik, who is an NWTC instructor. So Amy, let me start with you because you folks went to NWTC. Where did you get this idea and how difficult of a sell was it?
So we initially wanted to figure out where are our gaps within our own school district. So we had decided that we should kind of look at paraprofessionals because we hire over 40 each year. So now having identified kind of where are our gaps, then we went to NWTC and we talked to them about some of the challenges that we might have within this grant, which was the first one was going to be the timeline. And it was not a hard sell.
Okay.
It was not a hard sell. They thought this is a great opportunity. I mean, we were able to provide free education.
Sure.
So it was not a hard sell.
Yeah, that's thanks to that grant money, which we'll talk about just a second. So Tracy, let's go to you. How does the program work? How long does it take? And what was the impact on these folks that all of a sudden have an avenue to go from just helping out in a school to being a paraeducator and, as we mentioned, full-time benefits?
Yeah. So at NWTC, the traditional path could either be full or part-time. Majority of our students are full-time, which if you're working in the field already can present a barrier. We have designed a program that's a combination of general ed classes, program-specific, education-related coursework. Our associate degree program is designed for students to pathway to become educators, so it needs to be able to be taken at UWGB, UW Oshkosh, Viterbo. So we knew that the rigor was going to be there for students.
Yeah,
the time is an issue.
It's an 18-month program, and you
typically
have and you.
Well, that was actually unique. We designed it specific for this program.
Okay.
You know, we're a 2-year associate degree, but that's, we'll say 2+, right? You know, because everyone is on a different path. Some can take summer, some can take 15 credits at a time. So when we met with Amy and her team at first, we put our thinking caps on and we brainstormed how can we make a program that students can be successful at. And for 14 of the 15, those are remarkable persistent and pass rates.
So are they already in your workforce, these 14, or will they be integrated over the coming school year? And I'm really curious what the feedback has been, maybe from other districts that have reached out to you and said, this is really interesting and it's working. How do we do this? Have you had any of that?
Yeah, well, I can first start by saying, so everybody that entered the program was already an employee. Okay. So yes, a lot of them are already moving into paraprofessional positions. Some are even moving into student learning advocate positions, which is another position that's at a higher rate of pay, and you need an associate's degree in order to be eligible for that position. Some of them are really interested in substitute teaching, which we're really excited about. You also need an associate's degree in order to be a substitute teacher. And I think that the benefit of that is getting them into the classroom and hopefully sparking this love for teaching so that they can continue on to get their bachelor's in education.
Tracy, when these folks went through, I'm sure you've done some feedback. So if you do future courses and future classes with this, how much will need to be tailored? Or do you think you have it where you want it to be?
We are so fortunate because my team, we have talked already about how we can duplicate this program. Do we reach out to the Oneida Nation? Do we reach out to some of our smaller partner schools like Pulaski, Howard Suamico, to duplicate this program? Because we had to redesign it. Typically at NWTC, students would be taking it in 8-week courses, but because of the grant and with it being 18 months, it had to be completed. We redesigned the program curriculum to be 5 weeks. So students took dedicated 2 days, evenings a week to take 2 classes at a time every 5 weeks, even over summer, into some of the breaks. So they're very dedicated.
All right, last question here, because we mentioned it, this is all through grants and everything. Department of Workforce Development, you folks match 50% of that from Green Bay Area Public Schools. The Women's Fund of Green Bay also contributing to this. How long can you keep it going if it's solely dependent on grants?
Well, the good thing is that the curriculum's already been developed.
Right.
So the beauty of it is that we were able to offer it for free, but I think that we learned a lot from it.
Sure.
That cohort model was so impactful to the retention rate. So if we wanted to do another cohort, we wouldn't have the funding to make it free. But I do think that we have a lot of the framework in place
to make it
attractive. Make it successful.
Yeah. Ladies, thanks so much. Very interesting program, and good luck with it in the future if you can continue to grow.
Thank you.